so for fluency lately, we've been working on reading with expression, okay? Before we get into that, do you remember what fluency is? Riley, what's fluency?
It means where you can read smoothly and there's not big, and where you don't need to go like sounding it out, because people wouldn't want to read this, wouldn't want to hear that. It needs to be smooth, so it would be where you know words like fast, but not too fast. So it needs to be in the middle.
Yeah, so reading fluently means you read smoothly, and it's just like the same speed that you talk. So it's not super, super fast. It's not super, super slow. And Riley's right. We don't want to have to stretch all the words, because what happens is when you're stopping to stretch every word, you get so focused on stretching those words that sometimes you don't even know what you're reading anymore. Like you lose the meaning of it. And would a story be fun if you didn't understand what was happening?
No.
No, the whole reason you guys think books like the Pigeon books and Elephant and Piggy books are funny is because you understand what's happening and the characters are being silly. If you didn't understand what they were doing, you wouldn't be laughing during the book. So that's why we want to read smoothly, so you can better understand what you're reading. And it's more fun when you read smoothly. Now, when we're going to read with expression, you have to make sure you pay attention to the punctuation. Do you remember what punctuation is?
Yes.
What's punctuation? Zephyr?
Punctuation is something you put at the end of a sentence.
Yeah, so we use punctuation at the end of a sentence. Later on, you're going to learn about a comma, and he can sometimes be in like the middle of a sentence. But what we've worked on so far is a question mark, a period, and an exclamation point, and those are all types of punctuation. Does punctuation change how you read a sentence?
No. Yes.
It should change how you read a sentence. Remember, we've talked about how when you have a period, your voice just stays the same. Okay, it's like any other sentence, so you keep your voice the same. But what about when we have an exclamation point? What does that tell you to do when you read it? Kinley?
Like you're excited.
You read it like you're excited or scared, a little bit louder. And it says on the poster, strong and loud. So you make sure you read it strong and loud. What about a question mark? How does that change how you read a sentence? Riley?
It's where you like what if it's like you were at the beach and your mom said we're going home, and you said we're going home, and it's like a question, or like we're going home now. So it's like a question, so it would be like a question mark.
Yeah,
So
and when you said we're going home, did you hear how Riley's voice actually went up? Your voice kind of lifts, so it changes, and that lets people know that you're asking a question. And that helps us to better understand what we're reading, too, when you read it the way the punctuation tells you to read it. So like for this one, you remember these punctuation cards?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it had a period on the end of it, I would just say, it was Friday. That's it. Just a plain old sentence. But then when I put an exclamation point, I'm excited that it's Friday. So I'm going to say, it was Friday, which is way more exciting. But if it's a question mark, it's like I'm not sure if it's Friday or not. It was Friday? See how it changed with each one? Yeah, because the meaning changed a little bit. On the first one, I was just telling you it was Friday. The second one, I was excited it was Friday. And on the third one, I was confused. Is it Friday? I don't even know. So the way you read it helps to let people know the meaning of that sentence too. So just like we've done before, you guys are going to get sentences, and you're going to practice reading it with a period, with an exclamation point, and with a question mark, okay? Make sure everybody gets a turn with each punctuation, okay? So you two are going to be together, and then you three are going to be together. Just make sure everybody gets a turn, okay?
Yeah.
So let's look at this first sentence. You might want to read it quietly first to make sure you know the words. These are all sentences that have things we've worked on in them. Some of them are from your story. Okay. I have to give you the period. Alright, oh, there's a tricky word in this one. Look at this. That's an open syllable. So what does that say, everybody?
Sigh.
Sigh. And the second syllable?
Lent.
Lent. So the word is?
Silent.
read it a little bit louder.
The kids were all silent.
Good.
The kids were all silent.
The kids were all silent.
The kids were all silent. The kids were all silent.
Like Miss Mitchell's excited when you're working quietly. The kids were all silent. It happened.
The kids were silent.
Make sure you get all the words.
The kids were all silent.
Oh, that was a good one. Your voice went up.
The kids were all silent.
Good
kids was all
job.
silent.
Like, I can't believe it. The kids were all silent? You guys got it over there? Let me hear you do this one, Arissa.
The kids were just silent.
The kids were all silent. Try again.
The kids were all silent.
Okay, when you said the kids were all silent, that sounded like a question. We want to be excited. Like, Miss Mitchell is so excited that everybody was working quietly. The kids were all silent. Try that. You can do it. Do it for me.
The kids were all silent.
There you go. All right, now let's try with the question mark, guys. All right, Henley, what do you think?
The kids were all silent.
Ooh, good job. Dante, can you do it?
The kids was all silent.
Good. Arissa?
The kids was all silent.
Oh, good job. She's even got the face going on. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Let's do this one.
Okay.
The sky was gray. The sky was gray.
Oh, good.
The sky was gray. The sky was gray. The sky was gray.
Good job. Make sure you're doing that one.
The sky was gray. The sky was gray.
Good job. You guys doing yours over there?
The sky was gray.
Good.
The sky was gray.
I don't know.
The paint was
The sky was gray.
pail. The paint was in the pail.
Everybody do that one?
The paint was in the pail. The paint was in the pail. The paint was in the pail.
Good job.
The paint was in the pail? The paint was in the pail?
Good job.
Kind of fast.
You guys are getting fast at this.
Paint was in the pail.
All right, when you say the paint was in the pail, when you make your voice go up at the end, that's a question mark. Remember with the period, the paint was in the pail. Can you say it just like that?
The paint was in the pail.
There you go. Now put on that exclamation point. Now you're excited that there's paint in the pail. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, do that.
The paint was in the pail.
Good job.
The paint was in the pail.
The train came on Sunday. The train came on Sunday.
Good job.
Done.
The train came on Sunday. The train came on Sunday.
Here, Dante.
The train was on Sunday. The paint was in the pail.
The train came on Sunday? The train came on Sunday?
The paint was in the pail. The paint was in the pail? We'll do this.
The train came on Sunday.
There you go.
The train came on Saturday.
On what day?
Saturday.
No, look
Or
at
Sunday.
Sunday. Good.
Sunday.
All right, Henley, let's hear your question one.
Okay.
The train came on Sunday?
Good job.
The train came on Sunday.
Oh.
All right, Dante, can we hear your question?
paint was in. The plant came on Sunday.
Oh, good job. I like how your voice lifted there at the end. All right, we're going to do one more. But I'm going to go around the circle and let you do it for everybody, okay?
With all of them or just one?
No, with just one. Okay, so let's look at the sentence first. I want you to quietly read it in your head. Okay, let me borrow this. All right, Dante, read this for us.
The head was dry.
Very good. When it's just a period, the hay was dry. What about Riley with an exclamation?
The hay was dry.
Good job. All right, Henley, this time with a question.
The hay was dry?
Very good. All right. Arissa, can you say it with an exclamation?
The hay was dry.
Very good. And Zephyr with a question.
The hay was dry?
Very good, very good. So, quick review. Fluency is when you can read, everybody, smoothly, and you want it to be the same speed that you talk. And does punctuation change how you read a sentence?
Yes.
Yes. Just like we were changing how we read each of these sentences. When you had a period, you just kept your voice nice and steady, because that's just like normal talking. But when there was an exclamation, you said it strong and loud, like you were excited or maybe even scared. But when there was a question mark, you kind of made your voice go up. Yeah, and then that helped us to understand the meaning of the sentence. Because, like we said on the first sentence, it was Friday. When I say it with a period, I'm just telling you, it's Friday. It was Friday. But when I put an exclamation, suddenly I'm excited. It was Friday. It changed the meaning of that sentence. And then when we put a question mark, it changed it even more. It was like, wait, she's asking. She doesn't know if it was Friday. So make sure when you read, you try to pay attention to the punctuation, okay? Got it? Good job, guys.